Welcome
To OH, baby.
Now, I'm doing another one. Don't know if people even like these. I've seen a few people seem to be okay with them, but it's going to be up to you if you want me to do another one after this. Just leave a comment below. Say, dude, we need another one. I'm going to tell you this. Compared to last week, it was better because we had 10 matches last week, which a few of them didn't need to be on the show because it felt like it was rushed into it and they were short. So at least they did 8 matches here and we got 2 in between, like when we saw one vid pack and then we had an interview, which I'm glad to see. You need those types of things. Well, you need them in the show. If you do not have something in between the matches, it just feels like one long blah. And not everyone's into that. You want people to care. So, and I'm going to make you understand this is not going in order. Doing it my way. I'm going to give you this. The match between the faction with Roosh and Vaughn versus the infantry. Now, I believe I've seen the infantry once or twice before. I cannot be sure. You guys can tell me below if they've been exclusive to OH. But if I remember correctly, either I saw them either on OVW, that was quite a while ago, or MLW. At least one. I think I've seen them once on MLW, but I could be wrong. Or OVW. I've done I think I did 2 OVW reviews last year, and I did at least 1 or 2 MLWs last year, because I haven't done anything this year, I don't believe. I don't remember. It's been so many videos.
Guys, I've done over 2,000 videos. I can't barely remember to brush my teeth, let alone what I did almost 10 videos ago.
Too many videos. You can't remember everything you said in those videos. I blank out after the second video. I forget. There's just too much. So either they were on OVW or MLW, the infantry. But it didn't make a difference because they got their asses whooped by the factional. I'm not surprised. Look, this is Roosh. And this is Vaughn. You're not going to see the former 10 get his ass whooped by these guys. But there was something with the infantry that was a little interesting. But I kind of wish if this is the first time I'm seeing them or the first time all H is seeing them, they didn't have the job. I kind of wish they would with a minor tag team that's already on OH to at least make it interesting. Even if they lost, it would be something interesting to introduce us to. Well, introduce to me, but I don't know if this is the first or second time or third time they've seen on OH TV. You guys tell me below. Now, Best Friends versus Summer Kiss and what is the guy's name? Ocaso? No. I'm sorry. I'm getting this confused with Summer Kiss and Cass. This is the Best Friends without Orange Cassidy versus Summer. I thought it was Sunny Kiss, but it's Summer and Ocaso. Now, I've never seen either one of them before, so I don't know if they're good or bad. And they basically were annihilated. It was a decent match, but they were basically destroyed by Best Friends. They had to be destroyed. Best Friends is seen on Dynamite the majority of the time and Rampage, so there's no way they're going to get beaten on OH TV. This is just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It isn't. So Best Friends won. They shook their hands afterward. But there was no Orange Cassidy. Look, I'm not telling the Orange needs to appear constantly on Orange. This is the thing. When you have Trent and Chuck, you really do believe you need Orange by them. I'm being honest here. There's no Statlander, so there should be Orange. And I'm not expecting Orange to work OH. No. He's basically the international champion. He's going to be seen on main TV, but I do believe at least once or twice, and I believe this is their debut on ROH TV. So if it is their debut on ROH TV, I would have thought Orange should at least be there once, and then after that you don't see him again. That's just me. You guys tell me below, but it felt like he needed to be there at least once. Now, Brian Cage versus Leon Russian. Now, he was seen on Dynamite, but mainly on Rampage at least twice. And one of them was with Chris Jericho, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly. I think he went up against once with Chris. He was destroyed. I'm sorry. the mogul embassy is meant to show the dominance of Prince Nagi. I believe it, Naga or Nagi. I always get his name mixed up. There's no way his embassy, the mogul embassy, is going to be defeated with Leon. Yes, he did have a little bit of a defense against Brian Cage, but let's be honest, this is Brian Cage. This is Brian. Got the guns. I don't got no guns, but he got guns. The guy is like chiseled as a Greek god. And he is beginning to have that kind of bubble stomach. You guys tell me below. If you haven't heard about bodybuilders who eventually kind of get like a bubble gut, doesn't mean they're not in great shape, but somehow their abdomen deforms into a bubble, but they're still totally ripped. He kind of has that. It's kind of surprising that a pro wrestler would get it, but pro wrestlers can get it no better than bodybuilders, where they get like a bubble gut, but that bubble gut doesn't mean they're not in great shape. It's just a weird effect. And he looks like he has a little bit. But there was no way Ruffin was going to win. There was no way. He, at the last moment, when he did get a little defense and did do basically a hurricane, I'm not saying it was a perfect Hurricane DVT. It wasn't. But it was a pretty good one. And Case, it's still to a point. But once he got that basically that lariat, he did at least almost a 1.5 rotation. He could have done a 2 rotation, almost. It was ugly. But it was what we get for Brian Cage as one of the trios champions of ROH. Now, before we go any further, let's go to some of the segments in the back. Now, we got the interview with Christopher Daniels, who basically calls out Samoa Joe. And Chris still has that eye. His eye right here still has blood in it. Now, if you don't know about Christopher Daniels' eye, when I think it was about almost a year or so ago, at least more than a year, maybe a year and a quarter, that he was in a match and he got one of the veins in his eye started leaking. He did get hurt in the eye, but it wasn't serious. But then one of the really small veins in his eye began to bleed into his eye and to his iris, and it's all red. Now, you can see, surprisingly. He can see, and I did see his interview with Chris Van Vliet where he talks about this, that he says he can see. It's perfectly fine. It's just one of the blood vessels, that's what it is. One of the blood vessels in his eye, not his iris, but in his eye, like on the side here, where you see, started leaking and it started bleeding. And it's not life-threatening. He won't go blind, but until it decides to close on its own, it's going to keep leaking blood into the eye itself. It does not blind the iris. He can see perfectly, but it has that weird effect, like he's wearing a contact in his eye, and it's not. It's real blood behind his eye until that capillary, until it basically closes. That blood vessel closes, it is going to keep leaking, and it could be permanent, or it could stop tomorrow, and then his eye will begin to clear out. It just depends. But he made it clear. What have I done lately? Nothing. I have been a tag champ, the first one. I have been an ROH champ. I was one of the first champions of the company. But what have I done lately? Nothing. I'm calling out Samoa Joe. I want that damn TV title. I've been champion. I want it again. We have been friends. We have been enemies. We have been opponents. But you know, if I'm going to bleed, I'm going to bleed because of you. I want that damn title. So I am interested in seeing them do something with Christopher Daniels. Question's going to be, are they just going to rush it, which unfortunately they are because it's happening next week. I kind of wish they didn't do that. He calls out Samoa Joe. I want to hear a reply from Samoa Joe, but we're not going to get that because either Samoa Joe is going to say no, not next week, or it will happen next week. I'm hoping Samoa Joe says no next week. He called him out, wanting a title match, but I want him to say no. I want to call him out. I want Samoa Joe to call out Christopher Daniels, bring him in the diamond ring and say, basically, Chris, you know me and you. We've known each other for years from this company. No. You got to prove to me you even deserve a shot. Why would I give you a damn shot if you can't even win a damn match? No. No. Yeah, you went up against Mox. And I respect Moxley, but no. Start winning a couple of matches before you even bother with me. Because unless you win, I'm not going to let you get in my ring. So now I'm saying that, get the hell out of my ring. And then you can make it mean something. Then you can say, Chris is getting a little frustrated that he's not winning, but then gets disrespected by a guy he knows and saying, you haven't won lately until you win. Get out of my ring. And he gets offended by that. And that's how you get started. It's not one of the best way to start a feud, but I want to see a feud between Chris and Joe. Also, we get a little run from the, well, it sounds like Honor No More to me personally. Let's make this clear. Does Matt Taman and, well, we got Matt Taman talking. We didn't get much from Mike Bennett. We got more about it from Maria Kanellis Bennett. Maria spoke more than Mike did. I don't think Mike is one of the greatest talkers. Is he better than his wife? No. Maria's a better talker than he is. And I guess that's the reason why he didn't talk that much or almost nothing. It was about Matt and it was about Maria talking. Matt made it very clear that we have been here since the beginning. We wanted that new, me and him got one shot in 2001 to get those damn tag titles. And I want to get it, was it 2001, 2011? Can't remember. I think 1 or 11. We wanted a new shot at it, but we couldn't get it because of all this new talent. And then when we had the Supercard of Honor ladder match, everybody interfered with it. We are pissed about that. We want to take out every tag team that participated in it because they took away our moment that we could honor our friend Jay Briscoe. And then Maria talked, making it clear that everyone else thinks they're better than us. Everybody else thinks that, and this is just my words, kind of interpreting hers. We have been here from the beginning. We have shown honor to this company. We have bled for this company. But as far as I can tell, no one even respects us. This is our kingdom. This is our company. And we're not letting anyone get away with what we believe is disrespectful. We are the kingdom. That sounded good. But my question is, next to OGK wrestling, will she wrestle? She's currently working in creative right now. Guys, if you don't know, Maria is working creative for, I believe, for the women and maybe some of the men. But I do believe she's working for the women. So technically speaking, she doesn't need to wrestle. But I think once in a while wouldn't be bad for the wrestle. I mean, she wasn't like the greatest wrestlers. But seeing her with OGK, having a mixed tag would not be a bad thing. A 6 mixed tag match would be alright once in a while. And maybe counting on how many women they actually have on ROH, because they rotate the women from between ROH, Dark, and Dark Elevation. They got a good amount of women, but seeing her there would also be useful. And, who else talked? That was pretty much it for the talking. I do got to say this before I get to the next matches. Nigel McGuinness. I'm actually enjoying Nigel talking with Caprice. I'm alright with Caprice Coleman and Nigel McGuinness there. Now, the other guy there, I keep forgetting his last name. He's not a bad commentator. But when it came to Caprice with him, the banter between the two is okay, but I thought it could be better with somebody else. You got Nigel there with Caprice. They got chemistry. Yes. But then I realized something. Even though I would like to see Nigel with Caprice Coleman by themselves, they're both color commentators. One could be a straight man, but the other guy does make sense because he's the straight guy there. That is going to be more for the face. Both Nigel is more the heel one, and Caprice can flip between heel and face. So they had to have a third person there, unless Caprice is going, I believe Caprice Coleman, he's going to be 100% a face, and would be straight basic commentator, not color commentator. Because now they got 2 color commentators and 1 straight guy. That's just me, you guys. Some below. I just like Nigel. He just has a good tone. Since he is a former Ring of Honor champion, he does have the right tone. Now, the match where I kept getting Summer and Sunny Kiss mixed up is this one. Sunny Kiss and, what is the guy's name? Java K? Or VSK. I think that's VSK. But you got some below. K versus Evil Uno and Stu Grayson. This, I gotta say, it was not a bad match. It wasn't perfect. And I'm not saying Sunny Kiss is a great wrestler. He's okay if it's a wrestler. He's alright. But you guys tell me below. I'm kind of surprised about Sunny Kiss. Now, I've seen Sunny Kiss over the years. He's worked with Sabian. He's worked with a couple of people. He worked with, who did he work with? The guy that was trying to be like a HBK bite off. And I forgot his name. It's been a while since I've seen Joey Janela. I'm kind of surprised he hasn't decided to do the Nia Rose route. I'm not saying he has to become a transgender. He can be whatever he wants. But it is kind of a strange thing hearing him being known as her. And she is working in the men's title picture. She feels like she should be working with the women right now. In actuality, I wouldn't be surprised or be upset if she was working with the women. Yes, she's going to have more strength than the women, but I kind of think maybe she should be. She should be working with the women. Not that she can't get it done with the men, but hearing a she with he, it feels like she should be with the women. Not that women can't. Women can be wrestling with men. They can do mixed tags, and they can do an actual man versus a woman. But it feels like she should be there because she's giving off the feeling like maybe she should be. But that's just me. It was an alright match, and Vincent was watching the match with, I believe the guy's name is Dutch. I don't know what they want with Stu Grayson, but I am interested in seeing them elaborate more on what is the point of wanting Stu Grayson and trying to take him away from Evil Uno and the Dark Order. That is a very interesting question to see. The match was fine. Evil Uno and Stu destroyed them. But then when it was all over, they were staring at them because Vincent was up the ramp with Dutch and they were watching. So I don't know what's going to happen next. What do you think? You guys tell me below. The next match, Diamante versus Sky Blue. Now, I was surprised. Not because, I was actually surprised to see Diamante lose here. It wasn't a bad match. And I know Diamante for years in Impact Wrestling. And she went to AEW. I know she can wrestle. Woman is like a brick chicken house. She can wrestle. She's solid. And I know for a fact, seeing her with Sky Blue, I knew she was going to give a good match, which she did. And Sky Blue has improved. She was working in NWA at one point. Then she started working for AEW. No problem. I think she might have had 1 or 2 matches in Impact Wrestling. But honestly, seeing her win was kind of a surprise, but not totally, because she has been on main Dynamite TV for a while now, and I don't think they wanted a job. I just don't think they want a job in All-H, but then be appearing on AEW main TV's main shows. I just don't think so. Maybe they actually want to do something with her. Yes, I know what happened with Athena afterward, but it didn't mean she had to win. So they may hopefully want to do something after her time with Athena. Rocky Romero versus Lee Moriarty, I felt was the best match. Seeing Rocky with Lee Moriarty, I believe, was a very technical match. Wasn't that bad. Now, what happened with Diamante with 15-year pin attempts was interesting, but I felt that this was a better match. I really did enjoy it. And seeing that it was Big Bill that had to help Lee Moriarty win kind of takes away from Lee. I'm sorry. the tiger style, losing to the sneak style, I don't think needed to happen. I think he could have won legitimately, but they wanted to protect Rocky, which is fine. And now Rocky wants a pure match. So that's next week if Lee Moriarty's going to go for it and they just rush it. I wish they wouldn't. They would take a week or two to build this up and say no, and then there's got to be a reason to do it. That's just me, guys. Tell me below would you mind seeing that if you have even seen the match itself. Now, Gringo Loco versus Blake Christian. Alright. I had to think about this one because I messed up 3 times. I said something I wasn't thinking about. I was thinking about Athena and her match, and I messed up twice. The third one, I just messed up Blake Christian's name. I kept saying Christian. Anyway, and this fell down. This thing, the last one, this sucker just went and landed on my leg. But it was a good match. It wasn't the best match of the night. For me personally, that could be the third match of the night. But I'm going to be honest here. I'm surprised Blake Christian won. Honestly. I don't know why he won. Now, mind you, this is only like the third video of what I'm making of ROH. So I don't know if they've been pushing him lately since they've been on Honor Club. I don't know. You can tell me below that they actually have some plans for him, that he's been in the storyline. I don't know. You guys tell me. But this isn't the first time I've seen Blake Christian. He's been on Impact TV. More than once, he's been on Impact TV. And every time I've seen him, I get the same feeling from him. Yes, he's a good wrestler. A good high-flying wrestler. But comparing him to most others, I don't see anything important about him or anything great about him. I'm being honest here. If you looked at Trey Miguel, you look at Wentz, you look at Desmond Xavier. Look at what happened with Desmond Xavier, who is currently Wes Lee. I knew, not because he was such a great high flyer, there was something different about him. He had a charisma. He had an attitude. Even as a rascal, I knew it. When you look at Trey Miguel, I knew there could be more from him. Look what he's doing now. And I got something to say about Trey after I finish this. But when you look at Blake Christian, he's a blank slate. He doesn't have any charisma. He doesn't have any character development. What little time I've ever heard him talk is sloppy. And I'm not saying he's a bad wrestler. But as a pro wrestler, you got to have more. Particularly that you're not on just the indies where people want to just see you wrestle and don't really care that much about your character. You're on ROH TV. That is basically a few steps from going to Dynamite. Well, Rampage, then Dynamite. And soon, maybe in, June or August, Collision. If he's going to be on Collision. You got to have more when you go on TV because not everyone's going to care about just wrestling. They're going to want to know how you talk. They want to know about your character. They're going to want to know about your charisma. And can you not only wrestle, but can you lead the match? That's what they call people a wrestling general. I had to boss it there because it's important to understand what a wrestling general is. You need to be able to guide the match in a way that doesn't just excite the people, but excite them to not just want to see you again, but when you're not wrestling, that you can get over that way as well. Not many people understand it or even think about it anymore, but when people do understand it, guess what? When they understand how to guide a match and the way they act while the match is going on, while they guide it, makes them want to hear them talk. Not every wrestler can understand how to do that. Not anymore. The ones who used to do it didn't used to do all the kicks, use the flips. They would always use their charisma, their ability to talk, and any gimmick they were doing outside the ring. The ones who did in the ring worked their asses off, never truly got what they were doing. So when you see someone understand them both, they are over beyond stink, no matter how you put it. That's just me. Finally, last match. Athena wins. I believe I said Athena wins again or Athena wins. What is it? Athena wins 21-0. I see something more substantial here than Jade Cargill. Look, the first match of the show, I see Athena coming out. Girl just oozes an attitude. She oozes an attitude more than many women on the damn roster. She don't give a fuck. That is my girl. That is my girl. And she deals with a... I don't know if I'm putting any images. I don't think I will. If I do, she's already in my face. If I got an image of, unless it's just both of them together, Lady Frost.
My woman, my baby.
Who I originally saw in NWA, who I knew was special. She had some type of charisma, some talent. Next to being a very good gymnast, she had charisma. Seeing her come out with a hood and robe that is all basically a cold color, like she is the Ice Queen herself. She has that feeling for me personally. And I haven't seen her do anything for a while when Impact dropped her because they didn't have nothing for her to do. She did get hurt. But then later, they literally had nothing for her to do, so they released her. They released Lady Frost when they needed more women on the damn roster. After she was hurt at one point, I believe. She was hurt. I know that one. But then, once she recovered, they just had nothing for her to do. So now we see her on ROH TV, and she's 0-2. 0-2 does not make me feel good. That girl can wrestle her ass off. Yes, maybe a little bit too much gymnastics in her routine, which is not bad, but she has learned sometimes to push it. Other times, she doesn't push it. That's the way I'm about to call her Killer Frost because she kills my heart, Lady Frost is. And you watch this match, it was a good match. And this is where it gets a little weird for me. We know Athena used to be a gymnast herself. But she didn't do any gymnastics here. Maybe it's because her elbows are messed up and she can't do it anymore. Any type of real flips. But she did more pro wrestling than she did flips. Now, when she wants to, I'm sure she can do the flips. It's just she doesn't do it often. And it was a good contrast between a woman who did gymnastics majority of the time and now has become a wrestler, and another one who used to be a gymnastic, now went almost total pro wrestler. You got this compared to this, stark contrast, and it was a good contrast. When you see pretty much Lady Frost get her teeth knocked down her throat by a Athena was beautiful. In the end, she gets herself laid out by the title again by Athena. Athena, now 21-0, compared to Jade Cargill, feels way more established, way more substantial. Like I've been telling you when it comes to Jade Cargill, I love Jade. She's not a bad talent. She's still got a lot of growth. And from the time she gained that title, when she was like this, with the title, she elevated it to here. But that is as far as she's gotten. She can't go any further now. She's reached as far as she can take the damn title at 55 or 56 wins. She's pushed it as far as she can go. She needs to drop the title because there's no more prestige from the title. And now, because she has a title that doesn't have any prestige before she got it, she can't elevate it any further than what she has now. But when you look at Athena easily has taken an ROH title that had prestige already. Deonna Purrazzo had it, so she elevated. Mercedes Martinez had it. She brought it up a little bit more. And now, Athena, who is established as knowing to be a great veteran, has taken it from those two and even pushed it even further, which brings it up more. Always, a veteran can always bring up a title that has lost some prestige as long as you book them right. And Athena having her title going, my precious, the Lord of the Rings, my precious, God, my precious, my precious here. Bang! Knock your head into my damn title. My precious. That is Athena. She is Gollum, who is holding her title like it is her precious, like the ring of the Dark One. She, from Sauron himself, she is Gollum. But this time, Gollum that's not going to die because he falls into the damn lava of the damn mountain of fire. I'm just saying. And I hope you enjoyed this ROH review. Please give me a comment below. Now, I've said this earlier about Trey Miguel. I am saying this now because I am going to film it right after this. Impact Diary Trey Miguel. I'm actually going to do a review of it right now. I've already seen it. So I am just going to give my feelings about it in my review of it. Was it good? Was it bad? How did I feel about it? And I might release it tomorrow or Monday. I don't know yet. I might release it tomorrow. Now, I just want you guys to know, if you want to watch more of it, just tell me in that review. Peace.